Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the late shift. Hall of Fame college football late shift. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment. Hall of Fame college football. Welcome into the show, folks. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Christopher Shannon, B. Leon, Bishop Frank. What's up, guys? Good to see y'all in here. Make sure, hey, there, hey, yes, we're live, Big Love, Big, we're live. Good to see you guys in here. I know what we're gonna probably end up talking about, but it don't have to be all about that. Matter of fact, we could talk about some other stuff. Obviously, some good things did happen in Norman this week, but I think that the concern is, I think everybody's concerned if you lose David Stone to this stuff, it's not gonna be good. What's up, guys? Drewski, Billy on. Ken Sterling, what's up, my guy? You got the coffee going or what? Good to see you guys, man. Good to see you guys. But Big Lubbock, what you got going on down there, down your way? Y'all excited about anything? Everything? What up? Now, obviously, this David Stone stuff is obviously the talk of the hour, and I mean, you guys know I'm prickly about it. I think the more I think about it, the more it's like what I was saying on with K. Chris and Chris Mason earlier. I just think I don't understand why you would. This is where you choose to try to save money because we're talking about a guy that was the heart of that recruiting class and who has, for all intents and purposes, has been the guy that we keep hearing that he's been the most impressive in the spring on the defensive side of the ball, particularly on that D line. He's coming. So I do want to say, though, that it sounds to me like that there's some incentives in that contract that could actually make it worth a little bit more. The hope is that get them to understand that this conversation they were supposedly having today should help him to understand that. So that's a good thing. What up there, Eric Reheard? He said, Jason, what the F? Bro? Do I think that Stone would like to? I don't. I do not. Do not. I think that there's some pretty big fish out there that are throwing their hat in the ring with David Stone. He's certainly probably the number one portal target right now, just because of his status as a 5-star. But look, man, this is a guy that checks all the boxes when you start talking about what he should be and what he will become if he continues to work. And the thing is like I said earlier, the thing, he can't go to Auburn because he's not going to go to another SEC school. You can't go SEC to SEC right now. They're Bazoo. No, I don't think that's fair to say. I think here's what I'm going to tell you. There's more to it. There's more to it than just that. Coach Royball, you trying to talk some shit, get me pissy. We have a prickly season between me and old coach. That goes down. Is it fair to say that if they wanted to retain him, he would still be? No, that's not. And because listen, I'm not going to sit here and get into all this stuff. I'm not going to disrespect him or anybody in his family about something that I can tell you that I don't know a ton about. Because I'm not gonna tell you that I know exactly what's happening with the family dynamic of all of it. I'm not. You guys can get that information from from the Parker and Brandons of the fan base. Just saying. But there's other stuff at play. I have heard that there's some look, if he was to stay at Oklahoma, just with everything that's going on, if he stays at OU and he hits the incentives that apparently don't sound like they would be that hard for him to hit, he would do better than what he did last year. It's the look of it for a lot of people, and apparently for them. Look, who's to say what these other cats are out there offering? Who's to say what these other cats? And listen, that becomes what it's about. But because it's hard, I don't care who you are or how much you love the school. Money talks. I would ask anybody in here, whatever your job may be, if the competitor across town or across the state offered you 10 G's more or 10 cents more, would you not take it? More people would than wouldn't. And I think everybody knows that. So if that's what yeah, listen, I would say, yeah, don't state the obvious, but Miami seems like, yeah, of course. I mean, Miami was, they were ready to cough up the cash big time. I would not count out, I don't want to say this, but I would not count out USC. I would not count out Oregon. If Oregon decides they want him, what's going to stop them from going to get him? The Big Ten schools, it could happen. Again, you can call it cutting his pay. I think that's what I'm saying. There's parts of this that it's not. Oh, thank you, Kimberly K. Appreciate it. It's not just. I mean, yeah. Did they cut his salary? What you see on paper in half? Yeah. What is a big part of the NFL that we know about? We're talking about going to an NFL model, right? What is a big thing about the NFL? Well, a lot of front-loaded and incentive-laden contracts, things like that. These things happen. If what I heard earlier was correct, he could hit above what he was going to make on his deal or in his original deal. So I don't understand everything that they're doing. I don't know why you would even whatever it is, you need to make it. To me, I feel like you need to make it work. I think that it's big enough that he's a big enough piece. He's done enough, and he hasn't been trouble. He loves Oklahoma. He loves the staff. He loves his teammates. This kid wants to be at OU. Make it happen. I don't care what it takes. I think that you need to do it. And I think you need to be flexible enough to do that now because you made promises before you hired this guy. So, here's what it is. Yeah, he ain't going to love it. What's up there, Jimmy? Good to see you. T-Boomer. All money ain't good money is what your pa told you? Hey, man, I've heard that from mine too. All money ain't good money. Comanche Sooner, my guy. What's up? What's up? What's up? Miami seems like I think that was the first program I thought of was Miami, right? Yeah, I think so. You got some Irish coffee going there, Coach? Bazoo. If Oklahoma said, "Save me $1 million, you can sign with SEC school." If he wants to sit out a year, he could sign with an SEC school. He's not doing that. Nathan Campbell, what's up? Max Swearingen, top wide receiver from BYU in the portal. Okay. I was just looking through some of that. They reposted a message from the Mizzou, which of course couldn't play immediately, but he was responsive. Yeah. Well, they would love nothing more than to like, be able to turn the screws to Oklahoma again. Yeah. They weren't never. I don't see Mizzou being. You don't leave Oklahoma to go to fucking Missouri, man. You just don't. None of your performance incentives don't matter if you won't get the snaps. Why would you think he's not going to get the snaps when everything we heard is that he dominated the entire spring? They're all going to listen. we know good and well that you're going to get snaps. And a lot of the reason he didn't get as many snaps is he was hurt at part of it. Remember when he had the club on his hand? He's going to get snaps. And again, I didn't say that the performance stuff it was as tough to get as you think it might be, right? I mean, we think of incentives. Oh, you got to go out there and like lead the SEC in this or that or this or that. I don't think it's like that. He had 90-something snaps last year, and he had 6 tackles and a sack. If you think about defensive tackles, they're not stat stuffers anyways. You know, the top D tackle in the country usually has something around 30 tackles for the year. That ain't shit. Their job is to eat up blocks and, you know, help other guys get tackles. There's a lot of different stuff that goes along with that. You guys know that. Come on now. But there is going to be a lot happening. Hey, coach, if you want to hop in, I'd be happy to bring you. Was going to talk a little bit. Do we think that is your guy Angeli going to end up at Tennessee? It feels like that would be the best one for him. Ugh. In Okmulgee, you got a twister headed that way. No good. Well, I don't know that I'm telling you what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing complete details like that. I'm not. It's just those are some of the things that are going around. But again, if that's a problem for him, then I'm telling you that I think Oklahoma needs to handle that. And I think that if you put yourself in that position and we got to my concern would be this. Right now, yeah, you still got Jaden Jackson. He's a freshman All-American. He's at Oklahoma because of Stoney. He loves Stoney. You can tell me some of these schools couldn't put together a ridiculous package to get them both? Because I think they could. You could blank check them. A lot of them would. And that's a huge hole that the one thing that we know you have to have in the SEC to win is what? You can have the great quarterbacks. We've seen it. You can have great quarterbacks, and if your defense, and in particular, the interior of that defensive line and being able to get pressure and stop the run, you don't have that, you don't have anything. We're talking about having one of the best defenses in the country, if not the best. And I just don't. No, I don't think that you can afford it. And I don't think it looks great that 1 year after a 5-star gets to your school that he leaves. I seriously think that Jaden Jackson might leave. I do. I don't know that he is. I'm not saying that I've heard anything in particular, but is it hard for you to dot those lines over there to that? To draw a line from one to the other when they came together? UCLA quarterback could go into the portal. Yeah, and they like him, didn't they? They liked him. They just don't like him as much as they like Nico, I guess. I don't know that Nico's really they haven't announced that yet either. Who cares what he was last year, bro? We're talking about that he's put on the weight. He's never been a problem. Everything you've heard, what was the last thing that Teddy and Gabe said before they heard about all this shit? What is the last thing they said? He looks incredible. Incredible. This is a guy that looks like a first rounder all day long. And where else are you going to look? We know that Todd Bates develops these cats. You know, before he got up to Oklahoma, whether he was at Jacksonville State or whether he was at Clemson, he never had a single guy that played for him on the defensive line on the interior that wasn't first team all conference. Never. And he loves him too. That's the thing. They need to, whatever this is, they need to fix it. And if Billion, I can't believe that you actually think that this guy's just expendable. Even just the look of it looks bad. Love what you're doing, and I'm rooting for y'all until they stop acting like we're not ready for the SEC. Yeah. Horns down and boomer sooner. Got you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Why, yes, they can. They can do whatever they want. Look, I happen to. I'm going to tell you this: the kids are on his side there. They love David Stone is. Nobody's going to be unhappy about him getting anything. Whether it's one to, I don't care what you can number whatever you want. That means he's in the two deep, though. He's in the two deep. So you've got two of them. That means that he's going to be in the two deep. That's all that really matters. Yeah. Big Lubbock, are you going to make me explain how that doesn't mean how that's not that big a deal? Yeah. And they paid him and I don't think that that's what he's asking for either. I don't think that he's asking for anything crazy. Now, he could be, I guess, now that it got to the point where everybody else in the country wants him. They can spend plenty. And we're acting like, it's not affordable or whatever. Come on, man. This is Oklahoma. They can afford it. Whatever they're trying to do, I just don't see the point of doing it here. This is not the place to save the money. Coach, did you say you wanted to come in? Angela, you mean? Yeah. I'm not saying that I'm telling you that JJ or any of these guys are leaving. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that I wouldn't be surprised at any of it. I think that he is more important to that defense than anybody in here apparently thinks right now. I'm telling you, he is. It sounds like it. Is it true? Is it? Yeah, but it may not be exactly the way. I mean, they're doing some different things with these contracts, and he can make his money. And I don't think it would be that hard for him to make his money in the two deep. Even they don't think it would be hard to make his money in the two deep. How far in the playoffs did those stats get the Red Raiders? Hey, Big Lubbock, you know how coach is. He's just going to talk it up. Oh man, the cash is being chucked. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And look, here's the thing: if you do everything you can, and I think if you've shown everybody, and here's where I would say, look, and I'm a fan of Stoney. I think that he did everything in his power to bring the 24K class was Stoney's class. You hear about quarterbacks that pull these classes together all the time because they're the leader of. No, that was Stoney. And that class is the one that BV said is the best he's ever had. No matter what the ranking was from On 3 and 247, that was his best class if you listen to him. And if you look at the guys that are in there, it ain't wrong. Danny Okoye. And, look, man, these guys are good. These guys are good. And so I'm telling you, I think that you haven't seen anything about him going anywhere yet or even like planning a visit. You're not hearing anything from any of these insiders about so and so and so and so looks like they might be in the running for him. None of that kind of stuff. And you always hear shit like that. Look, how long did it take Jaden Ott to get linked to Oklahoma whenever they announced that he was in the portal? Not long. No. Bear Alexander. Oh man. You have to protect you, and you got to protect you got to protect your culture. And I think that that's the big part of this. Why, as much as I think Stoney is going to have a breakout season, number one, because I think he's just developing quicker and he's just his floor is higher. His floor is higher. And I'm just saying, if nothing else, though, he's as much of a part of that culture in that locker room as anyone, if not everyone, including Mateer. Mateer is super important too. Yeah, it's kind of weird there, Tennessee Longhorn. Usually I don't hear that stuff from the Texas fans. Makes me wonder what you're up to. Oh, shit. How many does Brent need to get off the hot seat? Look, I think that you guys know what I think about that. I don't see him as really being. I think the hot seat means that you have a worse season than last year, because I don't see them paying out $100 million to get rid of this staff. Whether you get to spread it out over years or whatever, I don't see them doing that. And not to mention the fact that of the money that they have invested in this roster, that quite likely, at least on the defensive side of the ball, is gone too. If you get rid of them, I think that if they went 6-6, which I don't really see this, but if they went 6-6, then I think that he stays. But I will say this: I think the more that you look at it, Tennessee losing Nico, because here's the thing: I'm not sure that Tennessee was going to be as good as they were anyway. They lost their running back. They lost a bunch of receivers. I don't see that they got super good. They lost a lot of the linemen, James Pierce, all of them gone. I mean, they still got some of the defensive linemen back, but that's all. And so it was going to be on Nico to really progress to another level for them to get back to the playoff. I don't know that I saw them doing that. And I got to tell you, the more I look at Tennessee, the less I like them. So I'm not sure, but now that he's out of there, you're talking about 6 out of the 8 SEC teams that Oklahoma plays, even though they're traditionally the better teams in the league. 6 out of 8 of them have brand new starting quarterbacks. Lenore Sellers and Nussmeier are the only 2 that have been the starter before. That's a good thing, because this defense can be ridiculously and relentless. They're going to send things at them. With the D-line as it is, if you get Stoney back especially, you're talking about you can have a light box and still get pressure on your quarterback and get them down, get sacks, which you have to do in the SEC. We know that. I think that they take a step forward if they can keep this defense intact for the most part, even if Stoney were to leave and you don't lose anybody else off of that D-line, I think they're still in good shape. Not as good, but still good. I like, and again, I just want to reiterate that I am completely down with and 100% in the boat of Jim Nagy all the way. I want to do what he's trying to do, but I think that you have to have some flexibility with the guys that are already there, that they mean something to that locker room. They mean something to the team. And I think that Stoney is a huge piece. Oh, Lordy. Do you think so? Win the Big 12 in 2025. Get the bye. Be one of the Final Four. Oh, man.
I found that offensive, sir.
He's full of shit.
I know, way, bro. Come on now. He better be. Yeah, I think he is. They got to go get him a kicker. Pass your bedtime, coach. Okay. Oh, man.
And call your team trash. Because that's what they are, trash.
That's what he just said. Yeah. So, who are you, and what did you do with Christopher Shannon? I don't believe you, Coach. Love you, man. Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Our schedule next season absolutely obnoxious. It is, and that's the thing. Look, I can see anywhere from I think that the bottom is probably like 8-4, and I think you have to have some bad things. I think it got easier to beat some of these teams. I don't think. Look, you guys know what I think about Mizzou. I think they're dog shit. I just do. I think they were dog shit last year, and we got away with it. They got away with it, but and I don't think a ton of South Carolina either. And people are not talking about the fact that not only did they lose one of those defensive ends, they also lost 4 guys off of the interior of their D-line, which was just as important as those All-Americans on the edges. And look, I think that Lenore Sellers is really good. I don't know that he's a passer, and I think he's going to have to pass to beat Oklahoma again. In their house, I don't care. I think they win that one. I think Ole Miss there's always the danger of having Lane Kiffin calling an offense, and you know what I mean? I think that they're going to be okay. They got a first-year quarterback. I like him, but I think that Venables calling this defense is going to put these guys in positions that they're going to be like, what the fuck? I just haven't seen it before. So do you win them all? No, I don't think you win them all. I don't think it's really possible. I don't think anybody's going undefeated in the SEC. Anybody. But we'll see. But I think, the games that most concern me, LSU, Alabama, Texas. I mean, it's Texas, man. You just never know. But I do think that I feel pretty good about Texas. But it's one of those games. Those are games that chances are you could lose them, right? I think it sets up pretty good for Oklahoma in the fact that they're going to be in the swamp the week before that, and we're going to be playing Kent State. So that's cool. But I would just say, you never know, man. It's just one of those things we're going to find out. I don't think that Missouri, I think that Tennessee, I don't love them, but I think you get Ole Miss at home, you get Mizzou at home, you get LSU at home. If you're going to have a shot at beating LSU, you would think it would be at home. Again, I like Garrett Nussmeier a lot. And if they're normal at receiver, they're going to be good. Their defense is the question. And how good does this offense get? That's if the defense, assuming that it's similar to what it was last year, a little better on paper or whatever, because of the offense or what, because we all know that the defense is a lot better on paper last year if it's not for no offense at all. You got games where you're going 3 and out 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Silly shit against bad teams. Even it's just bad. Yeah, we got gutted a year later. Again, it is what it is. I think we're going to be okay, but let's see. Is there any expectation that OU schedule gets easier in 26? Well, you keep hearing that they're going to go to the 9 games. I think we're not going to really know for sure until later on this year, because they're still figuring out what they're going to do with the playoff and all that other stuff. All right. At the very least, the schedule should flip for year 3. But I think they're going to go to the 9-game SEC schedule because they kind of need to. And the reason is here's one thing I say, and you know what? I love it that we're going to get into talking about some other stuff, because I feel like this with the SEC, the most important thing to SEC programs is the rivalries that are in it. And it's really, to me, it's the most important thing in college football. This is what you want. Hey, happy Easter there, Jackson. Appreciate that. And there's rivalries in the SEC. You better protect 3. If you're not protecting 3, then you're screwing it up. You're going too far off the where you were. I don't see it, man. I just you have to protect 3 rivalries. You look at Alabama. Look, they have to play Tennessee. And more so, they've got to play Auburn. You're going to tell me though that they're not going to play the Tennessee game? No, that's in Georgia. Oldest rivalry in the South is Auburn, Georgia. I know they act like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. But that would be lost because they have to play the cocktail party if they don't go to 9. It has to happen. So I think that they're going to do that. I don't know that they I don't know that they make it to where Texas has, the opposite of the schedule that they have now. I don't see that. No. I think that maybe they even it out a little more. Who knows? Oh, you do, Coach? Shit. Oh, okay. I got it, Coach. I'm sending it to you. Coach, it's in Messenger. There you go. Come on. But no, does it get? I don't think. Well, and here's the thing. Even when you go to 9, you're going to protect 3 rivalries. So now you're going to have Texas. We heard before, and this is of course before early on when they were talking about it, but it was going to be Missouri was going to be one of them, and then the third one they had said Florida would be one for Oklahoma. So that would be your protected rivals. Texas is going to be Oklahoma, Arkansas, A&M. Period. End of story. They're not going to every other year that shit. I don't care how much Aggie bitches. They're not going to do it. I seen it, Coach. I seen it. Business about to pick up, man. How y'all in the chat feeling about Hawkins? You guys know how I feel about him. Love it. I hope he's. And there's again. I would tell you for this year, right now, we're talking this year. 9-3, 10-2 can damn sure happen. I bottoming out at like 8, depending on how things. There's certain things that you're going to have right. You're going to have to win a couple of close games and things, which means things have got to go your way. They haven't always gone Oklahoma's way so far with BV, right? Even in the 10-2 year, they still haven't, right? So we need them to. But look, if Mateer, let's say you get Giovanni Gibson back early in the year, I'm not even saying week 1. I know that could happen. You get him back. I think you get him back by mid-year. Now we're talking. Now we can go down the stretch and see what's happening here. And then, listen, Jaden Ott might have been a huge, huge, huge pickup. So, ooh, y'all in trouble now. It's Coach Roy Ball. What's up, Coach?
What's up? Happy Easter, guys.
Happy Easter, sir. How are you?
Good. Let's talk about how shitty Texas Tech is.
I knew that was coming. Well, how shitty are they? How shitty are they?
They're pretty fucking shitty.
You don't see them making a playoff run this year?
Them some bitches can't spell playoffs.
Yeah.
Not only can they not spell playoffs, they can't spell the 3-letter word that it takes to get there, and that is win. Can't do it. And you know what? They can be spending all that old money, Jason.
Were they 8-4 last year? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But
But,
see, and they
there's
were picking them the year before that to be, you know.
actually, I think I was actually going through some insanity 2 years
Did
ago
you see this
because
one?
I was picking them too. Uh, the best D line in college football.
Some people are
Oh,
really fucking
Jesus.
stupid.
Oh, amen, brother. Big Lubbock, you
I
got to
can't
get
believe
off
you.
the.
Big Lubbock, I love you, man, for saying it because you know we're gonna
I
bust
do
your balls.
too.
Brother, come on,
I do
man. You
too.
can't go there with that. No way. No way.
Where are you statistically? Where are you
How can it even be? I
statistically?
mean, where did you even start with that? Let's look them up. Let's look them up.
Y'all are tackling too many damn tortillas. Jesus. I tell you what, I wasn't even going to get on the show because I was in my recliner starting to doze off, just listening to the word, what was being said.
Yeah.
And Big Love got me out of my recliner. And I just had to respond to the.
That was
I'm
the
going to
doozy
be.
right there, bro.
I just I just had to respond to the. I was going to
So
say,
as of last
but
year,
statement.
they weren't one of the top 10 last year, according to PFF.
What were they last year?
I don't know.
Well,
They're only
they
showing the
might.
top. Let me find more. Let me see.
They might have some great defensive games against the 135th ranked team. They might have a good game, but
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see about the best pass rushers. Now, obviously, you got Dylan Stewart at South Carolina. He's the one. We've got to see how he does when they can't double team him, or when they can double
Big,
team him.
and Big Lubbock, congratulations. I'm gonna give you a hand. They got 4 of the top 10 D line portal targets. You know
Yeah, but
what?
those
Those
dudes ain't.
motherfuckers are in the portal for a reason, dude. Has anybody broken the news to your ass? There's something wrong.
Even the Bear Alexanders, they're just not
Bear
around out there.
Alexander.
Even those
Bear
guys, I mean, it's hard.
Alexander.
Bear Alexander has the tools to be one of those guys. Now he's been steered the wrong direction. I mean, I'm not saying that he's one of the best guys. I'm saying
Back to
even
my
guys like
statement, though,
him,
Jason.
huh?
Back to my statement, though, with what you're fixing to say. There's problems.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if they're in the portal,
If
things are
they're
gone
good, they
wrong
yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, Stoney doesn't come around every day in the damn
No,
D line.
no, nope,
You just don't.
doesn't happen.
Hell, I think Avery just ran for another TD just now in Lubbock. Come on, Taco Tech.
Uh,
Way to
oh
pay
my
David Bailey. Way
God.
to pay David Bailey. Okay. Oh, brother. Brother. Got a new defensive coordinator. Oh, well, that matters. Uh,
Yeah, you fucking needed one.
said I just spit out my Guinness.
Neely. Oh, I love
Yeah,
Neely.
yeah. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm telling you, I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving Norman, to be honest with you. I think they're gonna find a way to keep him. I think they need to find a way to keep him. If he leaves Norman, it ain't gonna be the Lubbock. I'm just
Well,
gonna be
I tell you what, I don't think we'll even touch it, but I would love if he doesn't go back to OU. I would love to have him at Notre Dame.
that's all fucking Notre Dame needs is another really good defensive lineman. Jesus.
Uh, I tell you what, though, he would be a difference maker at Notre Dame. He's an animal.
He is. And again, I think that look, don't think that BV and Bates don't know that he is again, we're not and I'm not gonna sit here and put out all the information that I even think I know or I've heard and stuff. I'm not gonna do it because I look, first off, there's a lot of touchy situations, and I know they love him there. That's what I know. They love him there. What happened? The contract isn't as bad as people think it is, even if it is cut in half on paper or whatever. I'm telling you, I don't think that that's it. I think that I think it's going to work itself out. And I think that his teammates really want it to get worked out. And when teammates want you, that's when things kind of happen. And I'm going to remind you guys of something. Earlier in the year, in the last portal, you remember that they were talking about Nigel Smith was not getting the right money, and he was probably going to be gone if not. What did they do? They paid him. They can take care of this, and they will.
I think it'll be taken care of.
I think, yeah. Listen, here's the one, and there was just in fact, I've got it pulled up here. There's a story in The Athletic right now talking about how Oklahoma's trying to save its coach, and they're spending money to do it. And think about what they just did. They just went and got Jaden Ott. It wasn't cheap. They got the number one running back in the portal, and the people are saying Carson Beck is the number one quarterback in the portal. I don't buy that shit. But if Mateer's 1, 2, or 3, I don't care where you rank him. You know he's one of the better ones. He threw for 4,000 yards.
Ain't no doubt.
He had 44 touchdowns last year. And he is cooking and looks good. I think they're going to be fine. That's where I was just saying earlier. I think what's the difference in OU hitting 8-4 or hitting 10-2, 11-1? John Mateer and getting and explosion out of that running back room, and the fact that you got a guy like, and not just Giovanni Gibson. If you especially keep Deion Burks and Giovanni and some of these other guys step up without getting anybody else. Forget getting anybody else. Year 2 for a receiver. And EJ's a hell of a coach. Year 2 for a receiver, it should be good, man. And they all seem to be picking it up. I saw our Ivan Carrion making some big catches. What if Jaden Gibson comes back? Apparently they talked him into staying. I think there's a lot but that's the difference in what if they go 10-2, 11-1 type of deal, if they have that kind of season, or they are at 8 or 9. It just depends. What do you do offensively, and does your defense? Do you hold this thing together? I think you need to do it.
Hey, Big Lubbock, what was that? What was that he had up there?
We had a top 15 offense with a top 15 offense with a below average offensive line, and we upgraded the line. Listen, good for you.
You must be a damn car salesman or something.
He is.
Because you putting a lot of love into him, and you know what? Hey, I know fans got to be fans, but
they couldn't even keep Aaliyah around though at Tech. You know what I mean?
Big Lubbock. When y'all, I tell you what, just do this. I will quit talking shit about Texas Tech and how bad they suck when y'all win the Big 12 championship this year.
One time. Do it once.
Just once. I mean, hey, I live right down the road from them. And I watch this shit constantly. They suck. I mean, they're horrible. And hey, when my grandson goes over there and he's pile driving their ass, and he's 9 years old, and he's driving their ass back, the Texas Tech players, they're not very damn good. And I got video of it. I'm not just making that up. I'm just telling you,
he was kicking ass on one of their starting safeties.
They are fucking horrible.
He's 9.
I mean, they're fucking putrid. I mean,
They call your team trash. 'Cause that's what they are, trash.
when they play games in Lubbock, Texas, I smell the stench 120 miles away, and it's like it's next door. Huh. Awful.
This just in from our studio in New York. Texas Tech is still sucky. Back to you, Gene. Oh my God. Jaden Ott. Yeah. Hey, listen, can you imagine? So think about this with Jaden Ott. He had 1,300 yards in 2023 on one of the worst pass offenses in the country, playing in the Pac-12 against, I mean, it's the Pac-12. Do you know what it's like to try to run the football and have that many yards for one running back when you don't have a passing game? You do, because we couldn't do it at Oklahoma last year. And there it is. It's going to be fun watching him. And I'll tell you guys, I think that here's the beauty of it. I'm just going to be real here on what I think about this running back room. We're going to talk about the running back room. I love Taylor Tatum. I hope that he ends up staying. I don't know that he is. He hadn't gotten in the portal yet, though, so maybe he does. But I'm going to tell you who I think it's going to be. Ott's your number one guy. I think you have Xavier Robinson at 2. And I'm going to tell you that by mid-year, I think that you might end up having Torrey Blaylock being a starter. That at some point in the year, I think he may, because he is that dude. His dad was so good in the NFL too. His dad was an unbelievable running back. And this kid came in ready, knew how to prepare him. He is, talk about a home run hitter, man. And if you get Tatum back and he doesn't fumble the football, that's another huge weapon. In the end, I think you don't have enough carries for all those guys to keep them happy. So you're going to probably lose somebody. But I'm telling you, don't be surprised if you get something more than what people are expecting right now out of Torrey Blaylock. I said it. I said it here. I've been saying it, though. But you guys keep your receipts on that shit. Sounds like you got a septic problem.
I do.
I think he's going to be one of those top 2 positions.
You don't listen, Big Lubbock. I do have a septic problem, and it's every time Texas Tech football plays at home in Lubbock, the smell just carries, and it's worse. It's worse than cow shit.
Quentin Joyner was not the best portal running back. He was. Jaden Ott is. Stop it.
I'm Big Lubbock.
Yeah, I don't think he hasn't played. He hadn't even made a stat at baseball yet. But I think that that's his favorite game out of the 2. I don't know, man. And those are just things that we're hearing, though. I haven't heard anything substantial, but everybody keeps saying it. You gotta keep wondering what's going on at some point, right? No, what I was saying, he'll be in the top 2 of the rotation by the end of the year, I think. I think he's could be. We'll see what happens. But again, I think that at some point you're gonna end up giving him some carries either way, because of the fact that, I mean, injuries happen. There's a lot of things that happen, and we don't know what DeMarco's plan is in the room. But we got to know that Nagy went and got this guy out of the portal, and they had to pay for him a pretty penny. You can bet your ass that Jaden Ott's going to play, unless he's hurt. But
He'll play.
Yeah. But I still think, I mean, I think that you can put Torrey in some positions to be explosive too, and he is that. So I'm excited about the kid, man. I really am. He looked good. I didn't see him. I saw some of them. I saw some of the highlights from it. I didn't see all of it though, because I didn't go. So yeah, K Chris was saying the same thing. I hadn't got to talk to Jay like on camera or anything, but I think that Tatum, his injuries have been a concern for him. But and again, I would tell you that I don't think he's going to keep the fumble problems. You know what I mean? He's that guy. He's one of those. He was the number one back in the country at one point for a reason out of high school. So, and he comes from a hell of a program in Longview.
Yep.
They play football.
Longview Lobos.
The Lobos.
You know, Jason, that was one of my first playoff game when I was at Dallas Skyline High School. The Longview Lobos.
Then
And
they were like number 2, weren't they?
They were number 1 in the state of Texas and number 2 in the nation. And hell, we had them until the fourth quarter. And before we played them, people were picking them like 50 and 60 because we had just come into the program and got it going. And
Freaked the
so
coach out and everything, didn't you?
they were not ready for us.
Was Trent there at that time?
Believe so. I believe
He
so.
would have had to have been, I think.
Yeah, I think he was.
Well, let's see. What was that? That was like, because that was late 90s?
Yeah.
98-ish? 99 maybe? 97?
Yeah, I think like 97, something like that.
That would have been when he was getting to high school.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to remember what year that was.
Maybe not. Maybe more like 99, 2000-ish.
Yeah, it might have been. No, he might have not
because
been there.
he played with
It
Landry.
was before. Yeah,
he played with Landry and then whenever he was at OU.
that's right.
DeMar, those guys.
Yeah. So how do I think the Irish will do with the quarterback situation? I think they're good. They went into spring practice with Carr, Minchie, and Angeli. Angeli had the lead going into it, and the spring game came about, and I think it was pretty evident that, unfortunately, and I love Angeli, good kid, came in and played in some great games.
Angeli threw some darts in that game when he came in against Ohio State.
Penn State.
Penn State,
Penn State, yeah. And honestly, I'll say this. I don't think if he comes in when Riley went down, when Leonard goes down, that we might not win that ball game because it helped us matriculate the ball down the field a little bit and ended up scoring a field goal right before the half.
Well, it made them when he started dropping dimes, they had to back up into coverage a little bit.
Well, but here's the thing, Jason, they were already backed up in coverage, and not to rag on Angeli, but they were already kind of in a prevent, and so it gave him some shots to throw. But he threw the ball well. But I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but he also got hit and fumbled the ball, and we were lucky to recover it because I'm trying to think of the defensive end. Boy, he's a badass, but he had an injured arm and couldn't reach and pull the ball in. And he
it was a badass dude, wasn't he?
But
tight end, man, that's what they had going for them.
But we're going to be fine. Carr in the spring game. Watch the spring game. I've watched it about 6 or 7 times, and he's dropping some dimes, and he's got great presence. And Minchie, I'm going to tell you what, Minchie can spin the ball, and he's got some of those Leonard Riley traits or Riley Leonard traits of being able to run the football. And he scored a touchdown in the red or the gold blue, and he stops and did a backflip. I mean, that's pretty.
Athletic.
You got to have. Yeah,
Athletic
that's
then too, huh?
pretty athletic to be
I
able
like
to do some of those things. So yeah, I
I'm
think we'll
still
be
a fan.
fine.
I'm still a fan of Carr, though. I think that,
Oh yeah,
and I think,
I,
does it feel like you have to play him now that they haven't at least gone and gotten anybody in the portal?
oh no, we're not going after anybody. Coach Freeman's already said we're not going after anybody in the
Right.
portal.
But it's so you
I
probably
think
lose
they feel
Carr if
good.
he doesn't play, right?
What's
Do
that?
you think you probably lose Carr next year if he doesn't play?
Oh, I think we probably would. I think, and I tell you what I see. Here's what I see coming, Jason, and I
Mhm.
could be completely wrong. I see Carr being the starter, and I see Minchie possibly playing a lot, maybe in the red zone to
Okay.
give that pass run threat.
I could see that. Having certain packages for him
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you wanna run the ball or at least, kinda make it look like you are.
yeah. Like we're going to. Yeah. Well, and he can.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what, guys. I think offensively we're going to be better than we were a year ago, and it's going to be because we can throw the football, and
Man, that
people aren't
running
going to be
back
able to
room
load the
is freaking
box.
ridiculous. That running back room is ridiculous, and
Oh,
the offensive line is gonna be filthy again.
I tell you what, we yeah, our O line is we had two starters, Jason, that got into the portal and left because they saw the writing on the wall. They were not going to be starting
Yep.
with these young bucks in there.
Hey, man, you got Jeremiah Love and, what's the other guy's name again? It's off the top
Oh,
of my head,
Love and Jadarian Price,
Jadarian Price, yeah.
and then
Jadarian was he's good too, dude.
yeah, yeah.
As much
No,
as
it
I
goes
think Love is their guy, but Jadarian
right.
is a bad dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
saying this a lot, and I know that there's not a lot of people that are gonna agree with you or agree with any of this stuff that we're talking about. I think that Notre Dame
right.
is one of the favorites for the Natty.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't think
Well,
they lost enough for it to really hurt them.
and I got to tell you, the
And the
guys
place
we
they got
lost,
better at feels like
we
that's what
we
you needed to do.
we're yeah, we got better where we lost our guys.
Mhm.
So we're and again, God, God help us, we don't have the injury bug like we did a year ago because
Shit, at the
but
end of the year, they were just going down left and right, weren't they?
but that again tells you, Jason,
Yeah.
how the depth that we had. So, and I tell you, the one place that I worry about right now is our depth at tight end. I don't, I, and we're known as tight end U, and because we put a lot of guys in the league, but I got to tell you, this is the worst I've seen it. But and I haven't seen them really move in the portal, in the portal for anybody. And there's one or two really good ones in the portal, but I haven't seen them make that move. But I really think we're going to see less tight end offense out of Notre Dame than we have previously, and I think that's them Brock's wanting to kind of get away from the heavy tight end stuff. And I mean, we still got one or two good ones, but
Alright, dude, it's not like
there's
that's
a lot.
shit, it's not like that's a problem for you guys.
No, no.
Sooner in Texas, I agree. I think that is so important for Oklahoma to keep Stoney. More important that I don't give a shit about whether he was a starter. I don't care if he's penciled in as a starter now. I think it's so important for you to keep him.
I agree with that.
I think you have to. Ott was named the projected top SEC running back. Yeah, him and right there with Caden Durham was, 1A. I've seen different rankings depending on who's putting them out, but they're 1 and 2.
Yep.
I like Caden Durham a lot at LSU too. Like him a lot. I'm gonna change my prediction. Texas Tech and Notre Dame, not TU playing for the Natty.
Hey, you know what? I'm not even responding to that.
Oh my god, bro! They don't even have dispensaries in Lubbock, do they? You be coming over here to Hobbs, don't you?
He's driving over here to
He's
Hobbs and
driving to
getting
Hobbs. I know he is.
buying some weed over here because
Buying some of that good.
he is jacked up right now.
Big Lubbock, you man, don't ever quit making us laugh, man. I appreciate it. Guys,
Hey,
if you
Big
haven't
Love,
hit that like button, I gotta ask you why not. We are
we need to bring Big Lubbock on here so he can do a picture like I've got by or a background like mine where he shows all the Texas Tech's national championship rings.
oh yeah.
That way we can kind of match them up
They'd
together.
they'd have to get them from other sports than freaking football. I mean, water polo or some shit. I don't know. I know
Oh,
they got that one for the women. And I mean, y'all couldn't even get talking about all the people y'all are getting, but you know who you didn't get was old Aaliyah, our girl Aaliyah. Yeah. Boomer Sooner. She's excited about it too, man. She tweeted out today. There's a guy that said talking about her dominating in the Big 12 next year. She goes, "Nah, the SEC, bruh." She was like, she was doing her best impression of Coach Roybal, saying the Big 12 fucking sucks.
oh, I love it. I
Made me
love
laugh.
it.
I was laughing my ass off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I seen it. I was there. I wasn't there. I saw it. They should have won it. They should have won it the next year with Rocket
Yeah, yeah.
when they called that punt back that he ran back against Colorado. That would have won it.
Colorado. Yeah, absolutely.
I was at my grandparents' house in Lovington that day. Man, and Rocket Ismail was a bad
Oh,
dude, bro.
wow.
He was a bad dude. And then Tim Brown was on that team
dude.
too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Golly.
yeah. Good bunch. We had it, and I agree with you. It's been a while, man. Uh, but we got back into it last year, and we're kind of liking the taste of it.
Mm. You're not gonna last here, buddy boy. Clown coming in here. Sound like he wants to win instead of whatever, bro. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna have so much fun with you, Texas clowns. That whenever we beat you in the Cotton Bowl and y'all go 8-4 and shit. Whenever everybody's talking about, oh man, we're gonna win the Natty this year. Arch gonna get the Heisman. Ain't get shit. Tim Brown was in the Cotton Bowl versus A&M in '86. Yeah, that sounds right.
I believe that's right.
Oklahoma's going to be good, man. We were just talking about how Oklahoma's going to be good. It is numbnuts. It is. Oh, numbnuts. He'll be here for about a minute. And then he gone.
Hey, speaking of nuts, I think Leo, you'd be glad to hear that a couple of weeks ago I had to go up north and stopped at the Big Texan and had me some calf fries. Hell, they were good.
Ugh.
Good stuff.
It's like chicken fried steak. Liars. Yeah, hit that like. Hey, yeah, do hit the like button. Thank you, Spaghetti. We've had 350 views already. Nobody's hitting the like button because we only got 20. I don't love it.
Come on, guys, hit it.
We got at least get. I mean, right now we have between. Let's see what the breakdown is. 100 people on X, Twitter, folks. If you're watching this on Twitter right now, hop on over here. It's at HOF-CFB in YouTube. Become a subscriber. Hit the like button. Helps us out, man. We're still not Twitter's a little different. There's some different stuff that you got to do, but I don't think we're that far off from getting monetized, but we're not monetized. We appreciate you wherever you watch us, but help us out. Get us that like button. It would help. Yeah. We offer more NIL, but we are an Adidas school, and Nike was offering a boatload. That would be Jordan Brand. Yes, thank you. That's true.
So I think Brown, I think, wasn't it in 80? It was in 88, wasn't it?
Was it 86 or 88?
I think it's 88.
Oh, were you talking about with Rocket?
Tim
or
Brown? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was thinking Tim Brown.
Tim Brown and
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Notre Dame.
Rocket.
Well, yeah, because I know for sure Tim Brown was in that. I'm looking at it here.
Tim Brown was in 88 because we got beat by A&M that year.
Notre Dame. He's a college football Hall of Famer and a pro football Hall of Famer. See, and Tim Brown was absolutely fantastic in the NFL.
It was, yeah.
Why is Otis Taylor not in the damn Hall? Tim Brown had a hell of a career though too.
He did. Well, this is telling me
he played from 84 to 87 at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Well, Tim Brown was a bad dude.
Now this is telling me Rocket Ismail didn't play against A&M.
No, Rocket was after that.
Okay.
Rocket came in I think he came in 87.
Yeah, because he didn't play against A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like that. It feels like that's right. But let's see, college career. Nobody's out there, Norman. Relax.
Brother Chicago. I'm with you, man. Rawhide don't know
won the
a
Natty in 88. Yeah, that was their last one.
Yes,
right?
88 was with Lou Holtz. Yeah.
Okay, so then it was 89 then, or 90 then. 89 or 90 that they played Colorado, and Colorado won the Natty that year, right?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Let me see. Damn, I was young. Back in those days, but that was a good see, we ended. No, it wasn't Colorado that won it that year. They kept Notre Dame.
I don't think they did. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Colorado National Championship. '90.
That's what that sounds more.
But they defeated Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl to secure the title. So I think that is it. I think that's that game. Let's take a look at that team. Fucking Colorado.
Yeah, it was 90. Yeah. It was 90 that they won it.
So they had, so it was the 90 game. Let's look at it. Yep, 10-9 over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I remember that fucking game, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that was
nuts.
Yes, it was. They took that damn thing off they took that punt off the No, the immaculate deflection. Rick Myers, 24-yard completion to Adrian Durrell, bounced off the hands. No, that's against Michigan State. So I'm looking at the wrong.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. They beat Tennessee that year. Comeback win over Stanford. Beat Cal. 1 point loss to Illinois leveled the Buffaloes' record at 1-1-1. They won the remainder of the regular season games, highlighted by wins over ranked Washington, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. Was not without controversy. In the game against Mizzou, they gave them the extra down that scored the winning touchdown as time expired. I remember that, the 5th down game. I remember that one too.
Yeah,
that Colorado roasted.
That was crazy too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Faced them in the Rose Bowl, aided by a questionable and debated clipping call that negated a late punt return by the Rocket and earned a share of the Natty. Georgia Tech was the national champion in the Coaches Bowl. What the fuck? Yeah, you know it was a long time ago, man, when Georgia Tech was a national champion.
Yeah.
Wow. Following year, Buffaloes tied Nebraska for the Big 8 and lost to Bama in the Blockbuster Bowl. And then 92, they were 9-1-1. But lost to Syracuse in the Fiesta Bowl. Holy shit, Syracuse in the Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, dude. Wow. Who was talking? Somebody was saying something about Colorado the other day. Fuck them, I hate them. I know Neilio is not a fan. Not a fan.
That's my man, Neilio.
PG. What's up, bro? Just got done cracking some Bowman uniform and MLB Fox boxes, and I think I need Jesus to bless me next time. What's up there, PG? Happy Easter, sir. How's the fam? Hope the daughter's doing good. Little one. That extra down game was a trip, right? I can tell you a true story about the headline official who gave CU that 5th down in Como. Call it in. Fuck the Buffs, seriously. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
There you go, Neilio.
You said, let's see. What you up to, PG? What are you still awake for, man? I thought you were you'd be crashed out. We're only gonna go on for a little while longer, but man, I love college football so much. So I remember watching it back in those days. It was just amazing.
It was awesome, man.
Love college football, man. Those Miami teams were always damn good. Pain in the ass. I mean, the Sooners, the Miami's Sooners, shit.
Yeah.
Colorado was good. They were always good when McCartney was there.
McCartney, yep.
And then those Nebraska teams were, oh, dude. They had some fucking teams at Nebraska.
Well, we need to bring my boy Aaron Taylor on sometime.
Dude, I would love to do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Little Outland Trophy winner action.
Outland Trophy winner, man. And nobody in Texas wanted his ass either, huh?
Nope. Hey, Big Lubbock, let me tell you a story. So the Outland Trophy winner, Aaron Taylor, Texas Tech would not take him because he wasn't tall enough. So he goes to Nebraska and wins the Outland Trophy.
Oh, man.
Y'all are some smart. Y'all are some smart some bitches.
Oh, Spike fucked that all up, didn't he?
Oh,
damn.
Spike screwed the pooch.
I bet you
I love him.
Never let his ass down on that one either, did you?
Oh, I didn't. I hammered him for his whole life after that.
I'm sure you did.
And I love Spike.
I know you do. That's what I'm saying. But I bet you saw his ass at every coaching convention and all that shit.
Every time I saw him, I'd say, "Hey, Spike.
You ever talked to Aaron Taylor lately, Coach?"
Hey, Aaron was just like 6'1", 305, but he could stand under the rim and take a drop step and go up and dunk a basketball. I mean, he was an athlete, and shit, he was
Stud, bro. Just a
he was
stud.
pancaking people's asses, and they wouldn't take him because he was too short.
He played in the league for a little while, didn't he?
I don't. I'm
Or is
trying
he
to
still on that
remember.
too short?
I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah. Hey,
Can't
what's up
remember.
there, Senior O'Neal? Well, it wouldn't be good. I don't think he's for sure going anywhere, man. But good to see you in here, my guy. Jaron O'Neal, father of Jaden O'Neal. How's everything going for you guys? Happy Easter, sir. Fortunate to play for 2 Kansas 5A championships. State runner-up tennis squads in the late 80s, and our main competition was Arkansas City. Big-time NCAA players annually. The head coach of that Arkansas City team was J.C. Louderbeck, who was a Big 8 line official. His son told me after that game, I played collegiate tennis with him for a year, that they got death threats from Mizzou fans. Shocker there. Shocker there.
Wow.
So
Neat, Leo.
bad that he
Congratulations,
drove
man.
Coach Louderback to a mental health institution. Jeez. Well, that's a terrible
Wow.
story. It's dark. It's a dark story. Dude, everybody likes Spike Dykes, man. Spike Dykes was
Me and Coach Louderbeck, we went different directions. I came out of the mental health institution into coaching.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue that.
I
I've
went
known
the
you too
opposite
long.
direction.
I've known you too long.
But Neilio, I'm impressed, man. 2 state championships, that's pretty damn good.
Stephen G, thank you, man, for coming in. Happy Easter to you, sir. Yeah, Spike Dykes is a cool cat, man. He was cool. And I like Sonny, man. Sonny's always been super cool to me, man. Always.
No, I like Sonny too. Sonny's been good to me.
He's a good guy, man. He's good. I remember when he was at Tech, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
Before
that
he
too.
started being a head coach. He did. He did. Went and got Zach Thomas.
He got him from Lubbock, but where did Zach Thomas play high school football before Pampa recruited him? See if anybody can answer that.
Do, 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 do. I need some Jeopardy music in here.
You do. You do need some. That'd be good.
That'd be pretty fun.
So we'll see if anybody can answer it.
We'll see. Yeah. Who is it? Who is it? Don't know. Big Lubbock don't know. So
Neilio Big Lubbock.
Neilio might know this. He's the one.
That's why I'm kind of waiting.
Yeah. That's a hell of a story there, Neilio. Kind of dark.
It is.
After dark, anyways. Perfect for the college football late shift right here. Played 2 seasons at a certain D1 program. Ripped up my knee so bad I gave up the sport. But woke my dumb ass up. Got straight with the grades and goals. And now I'm right here. Reasons, man. Reasons. I feel you. Perryton. Big Lubbock said.
Perryton Rangers, baby.
He's from Perryton? I didn't know that. You never told me that.
Who, Big Lubbock's from Perryton?
No. Zach Thomas. Is he from Perryton? Did he play at Perryton?
No. Oh. No, he played at Pampa.
But you said before that.
But before that.
Okay. Skyline?
No. Right down the road. Since nobody can answer it, he played in White Deer, Texas.
White Deer,
White Deer.
Texas.
Yeah, and they actually won the state championship with him in 1988.
You know, Coach Top. Has Coach Top been in the comments or anything when you were on before? He's not in here right now. The reason I brought him up the other day. He coaches 7-on-7 and stuff. He's really tight with Emmett Jones too. But he's a Skyline guy. He went to Skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew
he was wearing some red shorts, Skyline, the red and blue shorts the other day, the basketball shorts on the sideline. And I commented about it on Twitter to him. I said, "Hey man, so I'm gonna have to send a picture of that to old Coach." I said he was there. He was there in the late '90s, early 2000s. He was like, "Coach Roybal?" I was like, "Yep, old Coach Top."
That's funny.
Coach Top's a trip. You get in here and talk some shit too in there. All you Skyline motherfuckers talk that shit.
We learned it there, man.
Amen.
Hey, here's another trivia question. So, Zach Thomas, that played in White Deer, Texas, his head football coach's name, who was it? And I actually hired him to come coach my middle school program here in Hobbs. So, another little trivia question.
I'm going to see if I can get that music, man, since we're doing trivia. Hold on.
Okay.
Continue on here.
So, but yeah, I hired when when I came here. As a matter of fact, I hired two head coaches out of Texas high school football to come take over my two middle school programs, and kind of bring that Texas flavor of football over to New Mexico. Good stuff.
That is good stuff.
And I know nobody's going to get that, so I'm going to tell you who it is. His name is and was Coach Wendy Williams.
Coach Wendy Williams, Wendy.
Coach Wendy Williams. Yep. He
Not to be confused with Wendy Williams from New York.
No.
That's great. Let's see. I'm about to get that Final Jeopardy theme music, man. It may take a minute to get it up there, though.
I tell you what, though, in Big Lubbock, Big Lubbock, you're right. You know, Big Zach ended up playing at Texas Tech. Back when they played a little football. You know, and I tell you what, as much as I loved Spike, you know, the thing about him was he would always come in and be a spoiler. He'd beat teams they shouldn't beat, and so many times they would lose to average to not very good teams. Yeah, Coach Winder. Yeah, Coach Dick Winder was the defense coordinator. Or wait, was Winder? Trying to remember what side of the ball Dick coached on. But yeah, I like Dick Winder too. He was a good man. And talking a little bit about R.C. Slocum up there and the Aggies. Yeah.
R.C. Slocum. He was a pretty nice guy.
He was a good fella. He really was.
He was a pretty nice guy, man.
I got to sit next to him at one of our coaching school banquets, and I really enjoyed visiting with him. I mean, he was just down to earth. And
I met him a couple of times. He was always really cool to me whenever I met him.
Yeah, he was just a down to earth guy. And I tell you what, I'm not saying today's coaches aren't,
Some are sucky.
But I got to tell you, those old timey coaches, they were just good old fellas.
Yeah.
Hardworking. Good.
As much as I hate Texas, Mac Brown was one of my favorite dudes to ever.
Yeah,
He was
another guy.
He never forgot your name. He knew who the hell everybody was, man.
Yeah,
Mac was fucking
good people.
Mm-hmm.
Good people. Yeah, Dick was the offense coordinator.
I can't put it on the machine right now because it would fuck
do it later.
Yeah,
you do it later.
That's pretty good.
That's good though to have that on there.
Pretty good shit
for some trivia questions.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that later, but I'm done with it for now.
And I'm gonna tell you a quick story, Big Lubbock. So I used to be a Texas Tech fan, just so you know. I supported Texas Tech and really was a true fan. And when they got rid of Mike Leach, I became an enemy of Texas Tech because I truly believe he got screwed there. And don't misunderstand, he did his part in getting fired there. But again, I don't believe, and I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart, I don't believe Texas Tech really gives a shit about football. I think that their main champagne or what they want to be the best at is basketball. Because we all know they've had a pretty darn good baseball team. But their goal,
they won a natty a few years ago.
Yes, but their goal has always been to be great in basketball. And I just I struggle with that piece. And I tell you what, I have a kid that I say a kid, he's a grown man now. He's the head boys basketball coach at Lubbock Cooper High School. And his name's Will Flemings.
Oh, Will Flemings. I remember Will. Yeah.
AKA Big Will. And he
was good.
he was good. He still has scoring records there. Now, I'll give you a flip side of that. So I'm coaching in Paducah at the time when I'm coaching Will and talking about Spike Dykes. He kept flying over to Lubbock to try to bring in Big Will and had agreed to let him play football and basketball.
I got a story about this one, Eric. This is good shit.
Do it to it, buddy.
I saw him at it wasn't media days, but I think it was like you know what it was? Texas High School Coaches Association. He was speaking there and I went and talked to him and he was always super cool and stuff. And we were talking shit. I'm trying to remember who all I was there with you remember Coach Quisenberry from Coach Q? Yeah, he was at
Odessa.
Yeah, at that time he was at Midland.
At that time,
at Midland Lee.
Yeah, Midland Lee. That's right.
And so I was talking to Q, and he had been talking to. That was the day I actually met Mike Sherman too, Coach Sherman, all those guys. He was pretty cool too. Mike Sherman's a little different, but he was all right. But Mac was over there giving Sherman shit about, well, you can't have a worse record against us than that. Talking about A&M and shit. And I said, I said, hey man, only Oklahomans see Mac's hair that fucked up. Only at the end of a Cotton Bowl, of the Red River game. And Mac looked at me, and goes, "You pretty damn funny, ain't you?" I was like, hey, "You had me hanging around, Coach. I had to throw that at you." And he's like, "Sorry, dog." But I'm a fan of Mac. He coached. He coached at Oklahoma too. He's beloved in Norman, really. aside from being the Texas coach. But he was good people, man. What's up there, JT? Good to see you, man.
Hey, talking about some of those guys, Jason. So I got to tell you one of my funny stories on Spike Dykes. So we're at a coaching school, and a bunch of coaches just down there talking and drinking a few beers, just bullshitting, and we're kind of standing around close to the elevators. And so, and he had his sons with him, but anyway, they're kind of mingling around, talking to, and so, but anyway, this old lady comes to the elevator, and Spike standing there by the elevator, so he pushes the button for this old lady. So
Yeah.
she thanks him, and she gets in the elevator, goes up to the she pushes fifth floor, so she goes up to the fifth floor, and so we turn around, we're talking again, and then the elevator comes back down, the doors open up, and out walks this gorgeous blonde lady. I mean, she's beautiful. And Spike's looking at her, and everybody's kind of looking. She walks away, and Spike says, what's his son's name? The ones that's at TCU, Sonny. He says, Sonny, go get your mama. And Sonny said, what? He said, what do you want me to go get mama for? He said, hell, did you see that old lady just went in that elevator and she went to the fifth floor and came back down and she changed. She's beautiful. Go get your mama. Oh my God. Everybody was ripping up, boy.
Dude.
Yeah. Put your mama on that elevator, boy.
He's crazy, dude. It's so funnier than shit. I met him late, and it was after Mike was already there.
Yeah.
And he was a good dude, man. And Leach was a good guy too, man. I love the Pirate, dude. The Pirate was.
Tell you what, the Pirate could put away some alcohol, man.
Oh, look at there. My ex basketball coach, Bubba Jennings, is being brought up in my fucking comment section. I hate that motherfucker. Bubba was a bad dude, though. I got to tell you. If they'd have had a 3-point line, he'd have played in the NBA. He'd have stayed in the NBA. He was unbelievable.
I agree. Yeah.
When he was at Clovis, he had 75-point games and shit like that. Bubba was a bad dude.
He could play.
Won the Naismith.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bubba
Jennings. No, he's doing pretty good coaching too. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yep. Watson Brown coached at Oklahoma. I think he's coming back, guys. I think he's coming back there, Hudson. I think he is.
I do too.
What are the chances? I wouldn't put a number on it. I think he's coming back though.
Well, I tell you what, Jason. If I was going to put a percentage of a chance of what him coming back,
want him back. I think his teammates want him back, and I think that the coaches want him back too. I think so.
I'm gonna say it's 90%.
Man, I hope you're right. I
really do.
Well, I'm gonna check keep checking. We're gonna find out, man. I think things are gonna be okay. And if you're watching Stoney, shout out to you, man. We love you here. Ain't no hating on this here. I know you're getting a lot of shit on Twitter, but don't watch that shit and don't think that it represents Oklahoma fans for the most part. Mike Leach was a trip. The funniest story I got about Leach, well, no, it probably ain't. There's a few, but I can't tell them all. But one of my favorites was Coach Knight was there, and Gerald Myers was the AD at this time. And I went in to go see Gerald. I wasn't going to talk to either one of the coaches that day. I went in to go talk to Gerald Myers. I think I needed to get a parking pass or something, and I just went in to talk to him about some stuff that we were going to do program-wise and some different stuff we wanted to work on coverage-wise. So Anyway, I go in and his secretary's like, yeah, go on in. He's, going in there and everything. So I went in and Coach Knight's in there with him. And I mean, I had barely walked in this fucking door. Barely walked in. And the secretary buzzes this thing again. Gerald, you got Coach Leach on the phone. He said, yeah, okay, put him through. He puts him on speaker. First thing comes out of Leach's mouth, hey, Gerald, who runs this fucking operation? You or Bob Knight? And, and I kind of put my head down because I looked over at Coach Knight right about that time, and here's fucking Gerald fumbling for the phone, trying to grab the receiver. He wants to get it off a speaker now. Coach Knight's red as his fucking sweater vest now. And I'm fucking over there like, I had to put my hand over my face. I'm fucking dying. And I ended up walking out of the office because and Gerald gave me this look like, you motherfucker, quit laughing. It was just, I'm a fan of Gerald Myers. I liked all three of the coaches. Me and Coach Knight even got along, and that's a rarity, but you just kind of had to stand up to him. But they hated each other. They fucking hated each other. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It was so fucking funny. And I walked out, and you could tell that Coach Knight was about to blow his fucking stack. But he runs this fucking operation. You or Bob Knight. Coach Knight's fucking I'm telling you, red as his sweater vest. No bullshit. I was crying.
Well, hey, and Jason, that's a great damn story. But that just brings home my point about Lubbock and a basketball school. What do they always hire as athletic directors?
Basketball coaches.
Basketball coaches. So
you know what? Gerald wanted to win at everything, man. He was a good AD. He really was.
Yeah, but they cover some of that shit up though. Those guys want to basketball it.
Well, listen, I mean, I think he's still one of the more successful coaches in the history of that school.
Yeah.
Gerald did a hell of a job.
Sure. Absolutely.
That one year, that senior year that you were talking about above is the only team they were losing to in the Southwest Conference was fucking Houston, and that was Phi Slamma Jamma Houston.
Yeah.
They were he showed us a couple of the videos that year. Akeem's out there. Akeem blocked one of his shots. He was at the top of the key, and Akeem was under the fucking goal as he was getting ready to release it and swatted that shit.
Yeah. Akeem
was a bad dude. Mike Leach and Harry Carey. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. No tell you might not be able to understand the son bitches.
Well, and I tell you, it was said there that Mike Leach talked about everything except football.
Yeah.
In his pressers. And you know what? Guys, he did it for a reason.
He didn't want
to tell you shit. So he would take you astray.
Every time. And a lot of us, that covered him all the time, we'd be like rolling your eyes now because you're not going to get what you need for the story. No. Now, if he got colorful enough, then it was plenty because then now you can, it's going to be on ESPN. You can write about it. You can ask him.
And he usually did get pretty colorful.
Oh, he was
most of the time.
He was great. The only time I got upset with him, he got a little bitchy. It was basketball how they have their media day before the season, obviously. Well, football's still going on.
Yeah.
And so I think Oscar went to the media availability for Leach that day because I was at the basketball media day, which everybody knew that Knight did that shit on purpose because it was fucking media day. It was the media time. He did it right during the media time for Leach. It was, he did it to make everybody have to fucking shuffle around back and forth and shit to get shit done. And so I think they staggered it a little bit, and I came in like 10 minutes late, and I raised my hand to get a question. He wouldn't let me ask him a question that day. Leach was all pissy about it because where you been?
You'd already gone to basketball, man.
Yeah, I know you were at that basketball. He waited till after the press conference talk. I said, "Oh, bullshit." I was like, hey, I'm the only dude here covering it. I had to be there. And he wasn't hearing it. He wasn't here. He was pissed. He didn't talk to me for 2 weeks over that shit. Wouldn't answer questions.
Well, if it had anything to do with him
I think that'd be A&M, and then he fucking talked to me afterwards.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Well, it was the basketball shit. It wasn't you.
But he played that game. He played that card. He did not. He wanted you to be loyal to him.
Yeah.
He's petty.
Yep.
He's pettier and shit. But he wasn't any more petty than Bob Knight was, for sure.
No, that's why they didn't get along.
Yeah. They were both crazy and shit.
They both wanted to run the show.
They did. AD that hired Spike Dykes was T. Jones.
T. Jones, yeah.
Assistant AD at TU. I love when they call him TU. Never will they call him UT. And that's A&M does that shit all the time too. We just call them motherfuckers.
TU.
The NC State game. Oh yes, brother. The next season, Georgetown, bro. I tell you what, the Hoya paranoia. That for that Houston team to never win a natty, and as good as they with Clyde the Glide too, and I mean they were unbelievable to not win that shit.
Yeah,
they should have beat the brakes off of NC State though.
They were incredible. NC State though, that was my man Valvano.
I like Jimmy V.
I did too. I loved him, man.
He was a cool guy. Man, you can talk about a guy that gets you motivated. Jaron, I like this question. Most intense coach of all time? Yeah, probably for me. I don't know. Stoops was pretty fucking intense.
I tell you, another intense little pig fucker is Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz was intense.
Oh,
but I never got to cover Lou. I only met Lou Holtz when he was done, right? And he was just, I mean, you know how he is. He's just that weird whistling talks guy. But no, man. The thing about by the time I was covering him, of course, again, it was at Tech, and he hated the media at that point so bad, and you could get him greased up so easy that I was able to, whenever I kind of challenged him or I didn't cower to him whenever he'd yell at, because he was going to yell at you. Yeah. He was going to yell at somebody every press conference. It didn't matter what the fuck it was. He used to make Jeremy Fowler, he used to make that motherfucker cry. He did. It was, but dude, I've been shot at in the military. That shit didn't scare me. It didn't bother me that he yelled. I just didn't care. And I laughed at him one time when he yelled, because he yelled at the guy's name was Brent something. I'm trying to remember his last name, but he took the job at the Lubbock AJ when I didn't take it. Remember whenever I didn't take it because my girlfriend at the time? Damn. Yeah. He took it then, and it was the first time I'd went and covered him. Ronald Ross playing against Alan Haynes. First time, it was before I was a beat writer.
Right.
And he yelled at that. He asked him a question. They'd almost coughed up a 20-point lead in New Mexico State, and I shit you not, Coach was pissed when he got in there. And the first question that after he said, that's a real shitty way to win a game. Allen missed free throws that would have tied it up. Yeah, they lost in the entirety of a 20-point lead, and then lost because Allen missed, or won because Allen missed those free throws. But anyway, he goes, what you've had a couple of these games lately where you let teams come back into games. What do you attribute that to? I don't fucking know. Brent is screaming at him. If I knew, I'd fix it. And shit, I'm crying out again too. That was my first time around him, but I thought it was funny. Next thing you know, then the Dallas Morning News guys are always trying to fuck with him. Them or Fort Worth, they were always fucking with him. And so after he was already good and greased up by then anyway, and then I forget what they asked him, but he just started yelling again and then walked out. And You get Gerald. I can't stand these son of bitches and shit. Like he was madder than fuck. He was held a bit, but he was intense in game stuff, man. Shit. And he had calmed down a lot by then as far as the in-game stuff. But I remember you talk about Bubba Jennings. Bubba was his video coordinator. He sat right next to Coach Knight instead of Pat. You know why? Because he took the ass chewings instead of his son. Always. He shit all over Bubba. That's actually why he liked me, just because I didn't like Bubba. Yeah. I won't get into it. It was pretty funny. But I kind of told Bubba to kiss my ass one day in the hospitality room, and it was pretty good. Miracle Manhattan here on YouTube. Bill Snyder in the 90s was fired up, took no bull from the media. You know what? I remember a couple of those. I'll go watch that, though.
Yeah.
Dude, and Coach Stoops is a pretty damn good player for being a walk-on at K-State. They used to have to put Kirby Hockett talks about they used to have to pour that ice water on him and shit. They were good, man. Dude, Coach Snyder was a freaking hell of a coach, too.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't very lovable to the media, though. You're right, Neil. He was not. He liked Fitzy. But, yeah. Some of those guys, and then Coach Stoops was pretty, especially, you get around Texas week or Oklahoma State week, and or bring up the SEC to him. Fuck, you get him greased up now. Bring up the SEC to Coach Stoops. He get fucking heated. Fuck them. He didn't like that shit at all. You didn't want to hear about how great the SEC was. He didn't give a shit. It was great. LC, I never knew him as a head coach, and every time I ever talked to now on the sideline, holy shit, Coach Venables is nuts. You know what I mean? And he's the get back coach, man. He invented it.
Yeah.
Him and Mike Stoops is a crazy son of a bitch too. But man, when they were coordinators on the sidelines, they were nutty. Seeing them going crazy on those defensive players, and they all loved him still. But it was wild.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, man. Kirby Hockett. Yeah, they were. Yeah. They were. Kirby's a pretty cool guy. I met him when he wasn't at Tech then, but I forget where he was then. Probably at Kansas State, wasn't he? Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs does the video. Was the Miracle in Manhattan is what you called it?
Yeah.
What's up, Champion Standard, my guy? What are you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Well, man, they were good. Those K-State teams, man, K-State's always been a pain in OU's ass, though. Once he got there, they were a pain in Oklahoma's ass. So that year, OU didn't win the Natty against the LSU team because of what happened in the fucking Big 12 championship game. When they got beat, it messed with their air of invincibility because they should not have gotten fucking bops. Oh, I hate that game. I hate thinking about that game. Lindsay Laird Veach is the Mizzou AD. Oh, and Kirby, all three started linebacker at the same time. That's right. I remember hearing that. Great players equals great coach. Yeah. Some are, some aren't. But them defensive coaches, boy, they shit. Bob was he was really good at Iowa. Bob Stoops was a damn good football player.
Yep.
Damn good football player. He was at Miami before Tech? Okay. Then I don't know where I'm at him.
And we also, somebody had mentioned Woody Hayes is being intense too.
Woo. Yeah. Crazy
He
might
was
be a better word for it.
yeah.
You fucking choked out a damn player on the sideline. What the fuck was that? Wild, dude. He was in there.
Craziness.
Hey man, you're welcome to come on anytime, man. Hey, tell you what, if you can you do mornings at all, Champion Standard? You're welcome to, man. I do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Anytime you want, brother. Love to have you. In fact, let's have you come on either Monday or Wednesday, and we'll talk about this stuff that's been going on today. That K-State running back. Yes, yeah. I remember that dude. Damn it. I hate that game, man. That because they would have beat, and they still should have won the LSU game, but I think it messed with their fucking head. The 03 squad got in a street fight at Arrowhead with the wrong team that night. Sproles, yes, I know. I wasn't gonna say his fucking name. Shut up, Nemo. Fuck that guy. Nah, man, he was great though. Darren Sproles is a bad dude. You mind ranking your top 5 OU players all time in any era? Oh,
jeez.
well,
That's one to think about right there. I mean, seriously.
yeah. I would my favorites. Okay, so let me just think about I'll tell you my favorite was Jamel Holloway first. I was 9 when they won the Natty. 8 or 9. Yeah, 9. And Jamel was like, shit, man. Love Jamel. I don't know if he's a top 5 guy. He was definitely for a season, he was unfucking believable though. Jamel was my guy, but I'm gonna say the best players, man, he's got to be one of the Selmans. Got to be one of the Selmans. But I mean, I wasn't around for that. So the best that I've ever seen, I'll just rank the ones that I've ever seen. The best that I've ever seen would probably be, I think Adrian Peterson's the best. I don't think anybody could touch Adrian Peterson. But I also would tell you that the Boz was a bad motherfucker too. He gave his career to Oklahoma. Gave his career to Oklahoma. He wore it out there. But I would say number 1 would be AD. Shit. Now this is tough. But I think and I love and Baker's one like Baker and them, they're my favorites. And I think Baker, his story is the best. I think the best quarterback I ever saw was Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
He was ungodly. So he's in the top 5. I don't know exactly where I'd put him. But then, I mean, you got to put Let me think. Man, you got me thinking here now. I like it though.
It made me start thinking too.
Yeah, who do you like? Who do you think is the best that you can think of, right? Who's the first person that comes to mind? I think Leroy Selman is probably the number 1 player. It's just him or AD.
Yeah.
Those 2 dudes were fucking Hall of Famer. The Selman brothers as a unit were nobody's better. But
Good night, Big Lubbock.
Night, Big Lubbock.
Go have your munchies.
Billy Sims is right there too. Tony Casillas. Ooh, I didn't even think. You know what? Tony Casillas is damn sure in the mix anyway. Baker, I think Baker's somewhere in there. I think just what he did, being top 5 in the Heisman 3 times, and especially being a walk-on, unbelievable. But I think talent-wise, Sam was unbelievable. Back-to-back titles. Natty's in the mid-70s is Steve Owens. I think Steve was before that, wasn't he? Dude, I was born in 76, so I'm going to tell you, if Legend was on, he'd be Satterfield, come on now. Billy Sims. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go with AD. AD's got to be number 2. Leroy Selman, AD, Bradford, Billy Sims, the boss. I'll go with the boss.
Earth 5, yeah. That's
Man,
tough.
great. It's tough, man. It's tough. You're gonna make me look.
It made me start thinking about the Notre Dame guys. Hell,
Holy shit, man, that's a tough one. But and I'll tell you, it's hard to not say Kyler. He only played that 1 year. Talent wise, you start thinking. I mean, Kyler was a problem for people. A problem.
a big problem.
Oh, love Kyler Murray, man. It's hard for and look, man. I'm a Landry Jones guy. We went to the same high school, so you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
I love Landry and stuff.
I'm a Landry fan too. He kicked
And
my
Landry,
ass several times.
that son of a bitch, he put up yardage. If he'd have won a natty, he'd be up there too. But I think Sam was just and Sam came out of nowhere too. He's a 3-star from one of the worst high schools in Oklahoma. Unbelievable. Nobody thought anything of him. Wishbone. Okay, you know what? Somebody brought this up too. Again, and I would tell you, Jamel Holloway was a badass dude too, man. That 1 year was magical, but you couldn't stop the dude. You couldn't stop that guy.
Y'all had some incredible.
Keith Jackson would be another guy you got to talk about. Son of a bitch, Keith Jackson.
Yeah, the names keep rolling, man.
Golly. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Receiver wise, I mean, you could go position to position and you can name some ungodly receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, defensive players. It's unbelievable. Hey man, Jaden does a great job, doesn't he? Kimberly K, he does. Good kid, man. Good kid. He's gonna be a hell of a football player in the college football too. Hell of a football player. That dude's got a rocket. So Ken Sterling has Adrian Peterson, Jamel Holloway, Sam Bradford, Roy Williams. See, Roy Williams is another one. Derek Strait. No Selman, huh, Ken? Holy cow. Thomas Lott ran the wishbone like magic. Johnson ran the Lakers off. Yeah. Like magic ran the Laker offense. No shit. It's hard to name just 5. I mean, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. I could give you another 5 and not because you do forget about them. And you'll be like, well, you might just think of one thing that one day. You could name a new 5 probably every day. But Billy Sims was unbelievable. And dude, listen, I don't care what anybody says. Matt Leinart stole the damn Heisman Trophy from AD. That was bullshit.
You were saying receivers a little while ago. It made me think of.
D.D.
I mean,
Westbrook.
this was way back. This was way back though. Ryan Broyles.
Ryan Broyles, dude. Ryan Broyles was a bad dude too.
Yeah.
There was about a year ago, pretty good debate going on Twitter about who are the best wide receivers in Oklahoma.
What about Jerry Tubbs?
The only one to ever win the Biletnikoff. Didi was a bad dude, man.
Yeah. What about Jerry Tubbs?
Shit, dude. Yeah, Mark Clayton. Jerry Tubbs. Bro. Again, we can do this all day.
He played both sides of the ball too.
He did indeed. Coach Ricks, who's your top 5? Give us your top 5 Sooners.
Did anybody say Tommy McDonald?
I haven't seen him yet. Neilio, you went to a bunch of OU games with the fam. Who's your top 5? Man, he's just a good kid. I talked to him on he's a cool ass kid, man.
Wow.
Cool ass kid. I like Jaden. Love it. Let's see. Coach Ricks, give me your 5, man. Give me your 5. Come on, somebody. Kimberly K, give me your 5. Tommy McDonald, a goat, says Purple Orca. What's up, Orca?
Purple Orca. I hadn't seen him around in a long time.
Sooner in Texas. Steve Owens was in the 60s. That's what I thought. Yeah, Steve Owens was a 60s guy. Billy Sims was Barry Sanders before Barry Sanders. If knee procedures were available in the 80s, he's an all NFL guy too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Hey man, I'll tell you what. Detroit ruined a running back or two, didn't they? Shit. But that was I saw this about a month ago. They started debating on whether you could call a wishbone quarterback as one of the top 5. Listen, it was a different game, but those guys were just as important. Now, and it doesn't matter what they did in the NFL because that's not what we're talking about at Oklahoma. It's hard to not say that Jamel or Steve Owens or any of those guys that were those wishbone dudes, dude, they killed it. Greg Pruitt was closer to Barry Sanders, says Basham. Coach Rick says Leroy Selman, Baker Mayfield, Adrian Peterson, Billy Sims, and the boss. We had all the same except for I put Sam in front of Baker, which is kind of wild for me. But oh well. He could have. We had him on the show, and listen, man, I know people like to blame Marcus on that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Coach Switzer will tell you it wasn't his fault. If it wasn't for the U, you might just three-peat. Yeah, fuck the U. My top 5. Boz, Sims, Bradford, Jamel, Ricky Dixon. Woo! Ricky Dixon was a fuck, dude. Man, the names just keep coming. Look what you did, Jaron. I like it. I remember when Ryan Broyles got caught stealing gasoline from a little gas station where he worked. Bob Stoops gave him a second chance. Yeah. He's a legacy guy, man. His pops would kick his ass for that shit. Yeah, give them to me, Orca. Come on, champ. Come on. Coach, who's your top 5 Irish?
Well, I've been sitting here thinking about it.
Damn. You just said Mike Addis too. Damn.
I gotta go with Joe Montana. I gotta go Tim Brown. I'm gonna say Paul Hornung.
Sure.
Rocket Ismail. How many is that? 4 or 5?
Oh.
Damn.
That's
I'm gonna go with a more recent one. I'm gonna say the bus.
I was hoping you were going to put the bus in because I think he's better than what Rocket was there.
Yeah.
The bus. The bus is a Hall of Famer too. So shit.
Yeah. But I got guys in my mind like
pro football and college football Hall of Fame guys. They don't come around every day.
Well, and I had guys in my mind also like George Gipp, win one for the Gipper. Johnny Lujack was also a quarterback Heisman Trophy winner. Golly, same kind of thing. You start looking and you're like,
yeah, dude.
Shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in Notre Dame too. Shit, we can do this all day. Orca says Billy Sims. Are you Leroy Washington? There's what is it? Washington, the Selman, Leroy Selman, AD, Quentin Griffin, huh? I like Quentin Griffin. I don't know if he's a top 5 guy, but I like him. Love Quentin Griffin. Dude was great. The bus, the GOAT. Yeah. I don't know a lot of people that would argue that is at least modern day anyway. It's kind of tough to if you're a Notre Dame fan, you might not, but I don't know, man. He was unbelievable. Stonebreaker, Pat Terrell, Chris Zorich, killers, man. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. You could put all the Selman brothers as one. Yeah, yeah. Quentin led OU to the Natty. Hey, man, I love Quentin Griffin, man. He was great. All
Tell you
right.
what, I just thought of another one is Ross Browner. He was a hell of a defensive end for us.
Damn, they had some good
Bob Golick.
Bob
Bob
Golick. I
Golick.
was fixing to ask you about Golick. Yeah,
God dang.
shit.
Alan Pinkett.
I had Boz in mind. Where Champion Standard? Give us your 5, man. Where are you at? Dante Jones and George Gumby.
Here's another one, Jason. Chris Zorich.
Yeah, somebody had Zorich up here. Neilio was talking about Zorich.
Yeah.
I was kind of as skinny as a kid in college, and I swear Zorch's biceps were bigger than my waist. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
Oh.
Brady Quinn? Hell no. Paul Hornick, Joe Montana, Rick Says, Bettis, Alan Page.
Now we know we have Bettis' son on the team now.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that Urlacher is
Yeah.
young Urlacher is transferring to SC?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, and I tell you what, I'm going to say this. I loved Urlacher. He played hard. One of the things that Coach Freeman said about him was he needed to pick up his or improve in his
Mhm.
practices. But he played some games for us and in cleanup duty, and he'd strike your ass.
Oh yeah.
But that kind of tells you where he was in on our depth chart. He didn't even he didn't even play in the spring. He didn't play in the spring game.
No?
I think they
Kind of
already
figured that
knew
was
he.
what was that. Well, I mean, his dad knocked the shit out of you. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but and I think he'll fit in good. And I want him to have a good. I want him to be successful.
He's a pretty good player, man. He was really good.
I I
He was
like
a
the
really
kid.
good high school
I,
player.
I tell you what, we're having to lose some kids just like our quarterback. We're losing some good kids, some good players,
Get
but
recruited over.
we just have better players ahead of them now, which is a good problem to have.
It is. It is a good problem to have. Come in for a second.
Oh shoot, Jason, I think I'm gonna have to hit it.
Yeah, I'm fixing to split too, but I'm gonna let Coach Ricks come on and say hello and goodbye to everybody first.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Champion standards. All day, Creed, Gerald McCoy, Baker, and Roy. Okay. See, again, you can't really be wrong with any of these.
No,
There's just so many of them. And Kimberly K's talking about why is Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon should definitely be right up there. Samaj P. Ryan. I mean, come on. Unbelievable. CeeDee Lamb was a bad dude.
hell yeah.
Michael McCackran. Let's see. Tillman, Peterson, Boz, Spencer Tillman. There you go. Boz, CD, and Rocky Kalmus. Rocky Kalmus is a good one. That's a fucking good one. Nobody mentioned Rudy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Death, Steve Williams. Oh, shit. And I think you could, again, man, there's some good ones. Mike Gaddis, man, I forgot about shit, bro. Sooner Texas says, I was a Lucius Selman fan, but Joe Washington, Greg Pruitt, Bradford, and Boz. Sooner Texas. Thank you, sir. That was awesome. Tony Casillas is another one. Dude, Tony Casillas was a bad dude, man. Oh, he was a bad dude with the Cowboys. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable player. You know, a legend had Mike White on. He was in that secondary from the 85 team. He lives over in Lubbock. Oh, Coach Ricks. Hold on a minute. I'm bringing you in just a second, Coach. What up, Coach Ricks? That wasn't an easy 5 to make,
fellas.
was it? What's up?
What's up,
No,
Coach
that wasn't
Ricks?
What's going on, Coach? How's everything going, man?
You can't pick 5.
Good. How are you?
Really feel good about all 5 of them.
Doing good.
There ain't
Doing
no
good.
way.
Nah,
There
man,
ain't no way, bro. There's too many good ones.
Hey, check this out. Check this
Will
out.
always support Notre Dame because of Nick Bonacani, his playing career, perfect team with the Dolphins. The Bonacani Fund to Cure Paralysis Foundation, amazing rep for Notre Dame. No doubt about it, JT.
Amen, brother JT. I'm with you.
Derek White, you're right.
Hey, Chase.
Thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
You know, my daughter's home and everything, man. So all her girlfriends are here. So it's like 10 girls in there, and they going on their phones like, "Who's Notre Dame?" I was like, "Y'all get the hell out of my damn room."
You gotta get.
They're on their phones trying to find out players that call them, give to me and everything. I said, I know these damn players like the back of my damn hand.
K9 was dude. Yeah, man. Hey. Gerald McCoy, Tommy Harris. Shit.
You can go on for days, man.
You can go on for
days.
You can.
Both.
Jermaine Gresham.
Both teams.
Yep. Jermaine
Both
Gresham
teams.
was a bad dude. Huh?
Did anybody mention I'm trying to make it, we all got Joe Montana, of course. We all got Tim Brown. We all got Alan
I'd have
Page.
Montana and Tim. Well, I'd have Tim Brown for sure. I'd have the bus for sure. I think you have to go with Paul Hornung.
Yeah. Chris Zorich.
Chris Zorich.
Anybody
Hell yeah.
Joe Theismann?
Hell yeah. Joe Theismann is another one of those badass dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. You can go on for days, man. I mean, just sit here and just
it's
so.
Well, that just talks to the rich tradition of both schools.
Darrell Royal was actually one of the better players in his day, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is, man. So you can sit here and go.
Fans like Oklahoma so much they named their stadium after an Oklahoma guy. Love that part.
So, but yeah, I know you guys say y'all about to get off. I said, let me get on here, man.
Jermaine Gresham, man. So see him and Keith Jackson. You got to think Keith. I mean, that's 1 and 1A on tight ends for me, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people would say that's kind of blasphemous, but I'm telling you, man, because Keith was unbelievable, but so was Jermaine. Unbelievable.
The best way to do that is do it by positions.
Ooh.
It's hard.
That would be the best way to do it. Give me your top 2 quarterbacks.
It would be.
2 running backs, top 2, fullbacks, and then go on. That way you can at least get.
But we were talking about doing that they were doing the receivers last year. I remember who was doing it, but brother, think about that for a second. Think about the receiver
I did that shit one
recently. Unbelievable. D.D. Westbrook is the only Biletnikoff winner you had.
You got to have Mark Clayton up there.
Mark Clayton, hell yeah, you got to have, and Brian
you got to have
Mark Clayton up there. I mean, shit, you start running out of room, but there's other dudes, man. There are other dudes.
Malcolm Kelly,
dude, I love Malcolm Kelly. Hey, man, best rapper of all.
Best rapper. I mean, dude, they had him as the best the best rapper in college.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna end this show. Because we're gonna play.
I done started some shit.
Hey man, Malcolm Kelly rap. Come
Good night.
on.
I'll take
We're
Kelly
gonna do
breakfast in
the
the morning.
freestyle. That's how we're gonna roll out of here.
All right. See you later.
Oh, you boys and my brothers and my friends. All right, you guys ready to get out of here? We're gonna roll to that. Monte Teo.
Wow.
Jared got jokes.
I'll give it. Hey,
Yeah.
Coach said he slapped shit out of you, man, for saying that, man.
Yeah. No, man.
Fucking awesome. You know what? He was a great player, though.
Teo and his girlfriend.
He was a great player, though.
Teo +1.
Apparently a dummy, but all right.
Yeah, I still don't understand that to this day.
Some wild shit, wasn't it?
I never get it. I never got it. I mean, to be honest, I never got it.
Don't. No.
That was hard. I never understood that one either. Yeah, Basham says he would be my top quarter. Sam Bradford. Yeah, I think that's who I got as my top quarterback. All right, we're gonna roll out of here with a classic and hope it doesn't get flagged. But if anything, I'll just undo it. But we're all good. But hey, man, appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you all on the next one.
Hey, man, y'all.
Happy Easter.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
Easter indeed.
Yes, sir.
Boys is getting quiet. Go on and get crunk. Head back to Longview, Kelly popping trunk. I ain't even tripping. Riding and I'm sipping. Let me come through 4-4, steady tipping. On that new lat, watch the trunk crack. Let me sit sideways, CB running back. Maybe AP, maybe AD. I ain't even tripping cause we some athletes. Let's do with Smitty in the summertime. He get pissed if we don't make our time. But we gon' get it, cause we gotta finish. Nebraska home hustle, man, we ain't finished. Boy little, paint like a skittle. I ain't even tripping, I ain't never double dribble. Cause I'm a player from the Himalaya. Let me sit sideways, man. Baby back door, baby fall off. Sipping codeine cause I gotta kill a cough. Let me sit sideways in the big Benz. Oh, you boys, they my brothers, they my friends. Holla at Coach Sumlin, holla at the Stoops. Let me sit sideways in the two-door coupe. I'm sitting clean, bows on the lean. Look at my pants, got a sag in my jeans. Let me sit sideways cause I'm steady coming. PT throwing that ball, let us humming. I'ma gon' catch it, I'ma gon' wretch it. Man, I'm sitting sideways, boy, show naked today.